Greetings, are on the 2nd of March and today I'm going to be sowing some beetroot seeds. So, got some varieties here. I've got Boltardy, which is a very commonly grown beetroot. I have Mulatka beetroot, hope I'm saying that right. Vigorous, tasty variety originating in Kazakhstan. White albino beetroot, very good, grew this last year, was very impressed with it. Golden Detroit beetroot, an old variety from 1828, a yellow beet that makes round, bright yellow roots. And Moulin rouge, I've grown that one before, so we shall see how they do. Now I'm going to be planting them in these cell trays like this, and also ones like this, and I'm simply going to be using multi-purpose compost. This is home-based variety, nothing else added to it. So I'm simply going to fill up my cell trays with the multi-purpose compost. Try and take out any lumps if you can. I'm going to push them down like this. I want to give the seeds a nice firm base in which to germinate from. So I'll demonstrate today by using these white albino seeds, and you can see my cell tray there, and I'm simply going to put 2 in each of these trays here, or cells within the tray. If it was a bigger one such as this, I would probably consider putting 3 in. So 2 will be just fine in these smaller ones, and 3 if I was using these. So when beetroot come up, so to speak, from these seeds, 2, 3 or maybe even 4 could come up from each seed. So it's likely you'll end up with more than 1 per cell, which of course is great. If you just put 1 in, and of course the seed doesn't germinate, you could end up with no seeds, or no seedlings rather, at all coming up. That could be a bit frustrating. So it's nice to put more than 1 in. Of course it's up to you how many you do put in, and you could spread them about a little bit within the cell if you wish, and just 1 in each corner like I'm doing here. The next stage is to put your multi-purpose compost over the top. I've sown the seeds probably about 3/4 of an inch, maybe 1.5 centimetres deep, something like that, and just proceed to put your multi-purpose compost on top like so. Make sure your seeds are covered up. I then put my tag in, so I put the date on which I sown them, so the 2nd of March. I then put what it is, beetroot, and I also put the variety. Tag in there so one does not forget when they're growing or what they're growing, and when they are indeed planting. And water. Make sure you give them a nice soaking. One very common cause of seeds not germinating properly is not giving them enough water. There we are. Placed all of my beetroot seeds sown within the cell trays in this little mini greenhouse. Very handy indeed. Put that down like that. You can put the zips down here if you want to help further insulate it. So hopefully these should germinate within 2 to 3 weeks. Hello, 13th of April, and here we are at the allotment. So today is a day in which I'm going to be planting out the modular sown beetroot. So they're going to be going in here. This is a no-dig bed, and it largely consists of horse manure mixed with wood chips. So it's pretty well composted, and I'm going to plant them straight in here. So there's no cardboard under here. It's literally ground, and then a good sort of 8 inches or so, what's that, 17 centimetres, something like that, of the manure. So it's very deep, and it will be very nutritious and very moisture retentive, and the beetroot will do really well in here. So here's my plants here. Now you may remember I put them in the mini greenhouse within the polytunnel, so the majority of these have been in there ever since, and they've done very well. They are nicely developed. So you can see, like this one here, look, it's leaning down a little bit, but that's fine. That's just I had them in the wheelbarrow on the way here with things on top of them, so but they'll be just fine. So very advanced. Now these ones here are Mulatka beetroot. So really nice looking there. That's the Mulatka, got plenty of those. These here, this is the golden Detroit beetroot there. This one here is the Moulin rouge. I have noticed that Moulin rouge tends to be a little bit less vigorous, but that's fine, no problems there. This one here is the Boltardy, just there, and these two here are the white albino, just here. So I'm going to plant them in rows along this no-dig bed here. Going to try to get them relatively straight, so let's get planting. So here we are. I'm going to be using the dibber here. So we're going to push the dibber in like so, just like that, and going to simply get our plant out. So we get our plant out, or plants out of the module like this. Got to take a bit of care. Sometimes it can be easier to stick an implement in there and push it out, but I don't have anything like that here. So let's just pop this one out. So there you go. This is white albino. So look at that, look. Nice plug there, all ready to plant in. And very simple, literally just put the whole plug in. And you can use your dibber, look, just to push that in like so, and that is it. So I'm putting my tag on here, so I remember which variety I'm growing, and simply like that. So my next one, I'm going to go about 6 centimeters or so apart that way. So out we come, pop another one out, and this one's quite good actually, because you can see there, look, it's quite a nice solid clump there with the roots, so that's brilliant. And there we are, we dib our hole once again. I watered this before I started filming this video, so it's nice and moist. Moisture retentive growing medium as well. Very good, there we are. And you can firm these down with your fingers like that. So that is 2 clumps planted. So that's basically going to be it. That's how I'm going to do the whole lot. Every variety, exactly the same. Module out, dib hole, module in, clump in, whatever you want to call it, firm down, and away we go. So you can see here I've got them protected under some mesh. You want to make sure you protect them, because if you don't, birds can come and eat them. You really don't want that. So mesh here, you could use netting if you want. Doesn't have to be fine knit netting, just enough to keep the birds off, at least round here anyway. You can see I've got them anchored down by using bricks here. I haven't anchored down that side because I'm actually going to be doing some more planting under there today, but so make sure you secure it. Keep your plants moist, don't allow them to dry out. If you need to water them, then water them, and hopefully we should be getting a good crop off of these. Well, here we are on the 30th of May, and the beetroot is doing really well indeed. Some lovely nice tops. Of course, the tops of beetroot are edible as well as the roots. That's a really sort of nice thing about the growing of beetroot. So the varieties are doing really well here. The white albino here and the Mulatka there. There's also golden Detroit and Boltardy here. So let's have a look at the individual varieties and we can see just how these are all doing. So if we look at the white albino beetroot, some really nice tops on there. And look at that, look, it's actually starting to form a root there. So if I wanted to, I probably could pick that and have an early season serving, if you will, of beetroots. That's a very nice nice little thing as well, but I'm not going to. I want them to get considerably bigger than that. So here we have the Mulatka beetroot looking really good, and look at that, a nice little root there as well, and really nice that is. That's, oh, and look down here, look, Mulatka beetroot, and look, we really have some lovely roots forming there. So looks like we're off to an early start with the white albino and the Mulatka beetroot. Golden Detroit. So let's have a look. Once again, little roots started to form there, looking really nice indeed. Really lovely. In fact, all of the beetroot altogether is looking pretty good, to be honest. So we'll have a little point about the growing of beetroot here. So here, for example, there are 3 roots growing, or 3 or so roots growing here, you know, all together in a clump like that. So if I wanted to encourage some of the beetroot roots to get bigger at an earlier stage, what I could actually do is pull maybe 1 or 2 of these out and just leave the other one. Then of course you've got a little meal there with the tops, and maybe if you've got a small root, you've got a little meal or part of a meal there as well. So you could consider doing that. But I don't actually like to do that. What I like to do is harvest them as the season progresses. So for example, when one gets about the same size as, say, a snooker ball or a golf ball, something like that, maybe a bit smaller, you know, pull it out and then you can leave the other ones in to grow, and I found that very good to sort of sustain the harvest really, and quite a sort of low maintenance way of growing beetroot. And along here we have the Moulin rouge. So this, at least at this stage, is the variety here with the least vigour, of which I was expecting this because I noticed this in previous years, but still no problem at all, and still very happy with how they are progressing as well. And of course, good old Boltardy, a nice row of it along there, so they too are doing good. So in terms of vigour at the moment, we're certainly looking at Mulatka having the biggest leaves at the moment. Then we're followed by the white albino, then I think we're on to the golden Detroit, then we're on to the Boltardy, and then after that we're on to the Moulin rouge. But very happy with how we're doing, and we shall now wait a little bit longer for some lovely beetroot harvests. So 19th of June, and the beetroot really looks lovely now. So done a little bit of harvesting here just now, so I'll show you what I've got. These ones here, these are the Mulatka beetroot, or some of them, very nice. Here we have the white albino beetroot, very nice as well. And here, most vigorous actually in terms of root size, we have the golden Detroit, or Detroit, so very good indeed. And in here we have many more to come, we really do. So got all sorts in here. Oh, we have a Boltardy, made a good size, lovely jubbly. So this can demonstrate a point here. So you can see these smaller ones here, because these were grown in a module and then sown in a clump, these ones here can get a lot bigger. So what I can do is harvest this one, so that's a nice edible size there, and these I can just leave these in and take each one individually, or one or two at a time, and leave the others in the ground and wait for them to get big. There we go, Moulin rouge, least vigorous variety so far, but still very happy with those. So anyway, this concludes our beetroot videos. So lovely harvest here, can eat the tops as well, lovely roots, and plenty more to come. Any comments, questions or whatever, please feel free to post below, and like, share and subscribe if you wish, and I'll see you in the next video.